void, but somehow different this time.
Surprised I can pull you into this place? The outsider marked me long ago. I made you flee your precious tower and turned your father into cold stone. How difficult for you. But when I was young, sweet Jessamine and I were close as sisters, sharing a secret. Emperor Kaldwin had another daughter, born in shame to a kitchen maid.
Am I dreaming? If not, how is Delilah doing this?
But I would have called her Jessamine.
I told you here, when you're older. How's next year?
You said that last year. Jessamine's younger than me, and she's a court every day.
Business, well, it's complicated. You'll understand someday.
What did I do? I'll be good. I swear.
Next year, I promise.
Jessamine and I played games in the tower, but at night I'd go back to the servants' quarters to cockroaches and thin gruel. Emperor Daddy would visit and tell me if I was good, next year I'd be old enough to come to court to be a princess. Then one day, pretty Jessamine broke something worth a fortune, and the spy master caught us. She claimed I did it, and he whipped me in the garden house until I bled. My mother lost her kitchen job, and that night we were out on the streets with no place to sleep.
I didn't break it.
Would you like to tell me the name?
We were just playing.
Young lady Jessica. What is your name?
It was her. Delilah's life. She broke it.
I saw the nastiest parts of Dunwall, ending up in debtor's prison. Jessamine died quick on an assassin's blade, but my mother lingered for weeks after a fat guard broke her jaw. They threw me out when she died. I looked up at the lights of Dunwall Tower and swore revenge. Washing bedsheets in a brothel, I painted on the side, until Anton Sokolov took me as a student. That's the polite word for it. I was crafty even before the outsider marked me, and survived the worst the Empire could offer. Now it's your turn.
My mother's sick. She needs help.
Your mother kicked off while you were out begging. She's another bag of bones now, girl.
What? No!
Your sentence is served and you'll be tossed out with the others. You can't stay here anymore.
It's hard to know whether my dear old aunt is telling the truth or not. When I was young, the Loyalist conspiracy that kidnapped me also took Anton Sokolov. They brought him to the pub where I was being held and locked him in a cage meant for dogs. And you know what? Sokolov laughed at them. He taught me lessons and told me funny stories. He seemed immortal. His mind shaped our age. That's changed. The old man I rescued doesn't talk much. He eats what we give him, groans in his sleep, coughs out blood. I thought he'd tell me the secret to defeating Delilah and saving the Empire. But I'm not even sure he knows where he is.
Even in the void, if only I could do more.
Mother? That wasn't a dream, was it?
Am I to blame for Delilah's bitterness?
No. She's the one who orchestrated the coup.
Our decisions have weight. I feel my time drawing to an end soon.
Help him with a rather complicated problem. It would have enabled him to make his clockwork soldiers at a fraction of the cost. Clever man.
Not clever enough. What's wrong with people like that?
A restless mind and an empty heart, perhaps. Jindosh would have snuffed me out as soon as he got bored. I appreciate what Emily did for me, freeing me from that place.
I searched for you, Anton. I would have found you.
I knew you'd try, Megan. They kept me going after they gave me to Jindosh.
Either way, you're back now.
For a man of his age, Sokolov's making better progress than I would have expected.
Good to see you're still with us. Thank you for helping, Anton.
Sokolov's not the only one making a rapid recovery. I'll be good enough to leave soon. There's a lot to do. Of course, unless the Duke falls, he'll undo my best efforts here.
Then we'll have to make sure Duke Luca Abel doesn't overstay his welcome.
Karnaka's key leaders are flawed, for certain. After all this is settled with the Duke, and the time of the coup has passed, whichever ones are left standing could change things here. Consider that, as you come face to face with the Duke's remaining associates.
I appreciate your thoughts on the matter, Alexandria.
The Empress has risen. A peaceful sleep, I hope. Nothing like the pillows at Dunwall Tower, made of goose feathers.
Sit down when you want to talk.
Anton, when I brought you back, you could barely speak. But it's been 3 days.
They tortured him. His body is covered with bruises.
Delilah has the throne, and my father is missing. This is Anton Sokolov, the greatest mind in the Empire.
No, Emily. Megan is right. I can make electricity move from one side of the room to the other, but Delilah is beyond my understanding. When I came to Sarkonos, I meant to leave everything behind. But when the assassination started, I couldn't ignore it. By the time Megan and I connected the murders to the Duke, it was too late. The Crown Killer came for me. It kept me alive from my knowledge, but I saw things. Jindosh often had a visitor, Brianna Ashworth.
She's the curator of the Royal Conservatory.
Yes, Ashworth is dangerous, as obsessed with the occult as Delilah. Apparently, she's working on a device called the Oraculum.
There's more to her than either of you know.
If Ashworth is one of Delilah's lieutenants, I need to eliminate her. Who knows what this device is capable of, or what she's up to. I have trouble remembering my mother's face sometimes, but there might be some resemblance.
Painted from memory. While trying to learn more about what the Duke of Sarkonos was up to, I began hearing a name I hadn't heard in almost 2 decades. Delilah Copperspoon. We painted together for a time, but her obsession with the occult and the Caldwin family took her out of my circles.
I saw some of her paintings. Beautiful, but somehow sinister.
You knew Delilah? All this time traveling with you and you never mentioned that?
My past is none of your business. You don't own everything, Empress.
Another life, another life. Megan came to Karnaca to reinvent herself. Maybe I did as well, but the Duke of Serkonos had other ideas.
Medicinal supplies are low. I might have to go out for extract of blood ox liver and some leche thistle seeds.
Sokolov, painter, inventor, and planner, famous throughout the Isles, loyal only to himself. Sokolov wonders now if it was all worth it. Once put forth, some ideas take on a life of their own.
We'll take the skiff. I don't want to bring the dreadful whale any closer than we have to. There is a small dock in Syria Gardens, close to the Conservatory. That's as far as I can take you. Ready to go?
Yes, let's go.
There will be a Grand Guard presence outside the Royal Conservatory. Inside, be prepared for anything. Ashworth runs with an eclectic crowd. They'll be the real danger.
Someday I'd like to know more about how you met Ashworth.
I know you would. Trust me. Ashworth is important to Delilah. Which brings up something else. You might be able to exploit the Abbey of the Everyman in removing Ashworth from play. Turns out the Vice Overseer in Karnaca has been watching Ashworth from a hidden outpost near the Royal Conservatory. Check it out first if you want more options. Remember, if she's still working with Delilah, Ashworth is a grave threat.
Thanks, Megan. See you soon.
I thought the old Duke feared Danis outlawed Underwood export to protect the trees.
Can't keep track of all the decrees. My client's refurbishing her gazebo, adding an exotic southern touch.
I don't get it. When I went to Dunwood, because it reminds me of good times.
To give up some trinket or a bag of coins.
Have mercy! Don't hurt me!
Should I start by cutting off your nose?
Anyone stop me!
Or maybe I could sign my name across your forehead with a knife. Use you as a human billboard.
I always get these shifts. I bet a week's wages this is the worst assignment.
Damn it, I need to pee.
Blue-jawed hagfish. River crust is more likely.
How many more hours of this? If I had a timepiece, I'd know.
Kinda dry.
What, 3?
You really go for a whiskey or
about
something?
3
Maybe one of them
more
2-penny
hours.
drinks.
One night at the body house.
Has the wall of
One
light
night.
been acting up?
Now I'm covered in chancres.
No. The technical officer came by and said it was fine. He looked at the wall of light, then climbed up to check the windmill. All good. Why?
Yesterday, the wind kicked up so hard I thought the windmill was gonna fall apart. The wall of light was flickering and sparking like crazy.
I've seen that too. But whale oil's expensive now, and the tanks run dry. The wind's unpredictable, but it's still better than a bunch of hours.
Worst assignment ever.
Isn't it laundry day yet? Soon. Can't stand my own stench.
Before she joined the Coven, she took delight in bedding men from the town where she lived, and slitting their throats in the night.
Look at you, making your way across this shuddering city. Brianna Ashworth would have been miserable as a member of high society, forced to wed some bloated banker. Her only moments of real freedom, getting drunk at fancy balls, and slipping away to couple with strangers. It would have ended in an unhappy marriage and a late-night plunge into an icy river. But just before Mother and Father married her off, so many years ago, she found Delilah instead. It was all highways and graveyards after that, never looking back. Vice Overseer Byrne is an ambitious man, but he believes in the Abbey's mission, protecting the good people of the Empire against the likes of us. You know he'd be happier deep down if this ended with Brianna Ashworth's head on a spike. Maybe yours as well.
Karnaka, my Karnaka, brothers and sisters of my blood, and all the little people who make this great city trundle along. This is the Duke, but you must all know my voice by now. A new empress sits on the throne in Dunwall. Our rightful ruler, Delilah Caldwin, first of her name. May she reign forever. There are some traitors who question her claim to the throne. Morally, Tibia, treasonous nation skulking in the cold, gloomy north. If they want war, we'll give it to them, no matter how many of you I have to sacrifice. Draconis will fight for Delilah to the bitter end.
blue-jawed hagfish, river.
The Royal Conservatory. What do those walls hide? The conservatory. I wanted to visit this place with Wyman.
To raise the blood Brian, but cannot. After trying to make graveyards for weeks. She gave up. You should have seen the twisted things she made. All snouts and teeth and tails.
That's just the way it is, dear Parmelia. Delilah wears the outsider's mark, and some she can just close down and run.
It doesn't seem fair.
About working your fingers raw, weaving nets, or raising cows for slaughter. Any of the gifts we receive is better than living under the boot.
That's true and fine. A wise way to look at things, but it won't help Lucinda rise any higher. They're just jealous.
Come before me and bow, for I am Delilah, your queen.
I am the mist lying over the lake like a blanket.
Dear, if Brianna hears you and her mood is off, you're going to lose an eye making fun like that.
She's only having fun, Francesca. And Brianna's too busy with the communion to be bothered. She's got her mind on the Sisters of the Oracular Order.
Yes, because otherwise the Abbey will see us all blackened by fire. Now stop with this nonsense.
Brianna, what happened to Jindosh? I'm told he's a gibbering idiot now.
I don't know, Delilah. Forgive me.
No, my dear. It's a loss. But I doubt he had anything more to give us.
Sokolov was taken away as well.
Who would want that ancient fool? Never mind. How goes the communion? I am hungry to whisper into the ears of the oracular sisters.
My influence grows. Last night, I walked through a dream with one of them, and we drank from a fountain in the town where she was born.
Ashworth is influencing the oracular order.
This business with Jindosh won't affect things.
No. He continued to tinker with the lenses. Thicker, thinner, more opaque. It was tiresome to watch. I still have the old lenses and cast-off parts piled in my workshop, but Jindosh finished some time ago. The rest is up to me, learning to use the machine. A tricky thing, touching the void through such a device.
Blood and biscuits. I look forward to using it myself once you're ready.
Will you visit soon?
Perhaps. Dunwall Tower is mostly in hand. The High Overseer won't be a problem anymore. And there's the matter of my own project. I grow more excited with each brushstroke. When I come to Karnaca, we'll drink an ocean of good wine and stay tight as a boiled owl.
I look forward to it.
For now, I need your eyes on the Duke. At least until we have the sisters under control. There's no one else I trust. I'll reach out to you again on the morrow. Farewell.
Goodbye, Delilah, my empress.
These odd lenses might be linked to what Ashworth is working on. If I can sabotage Ashworth's communion device, she'll be powerless. Looks like Kiran Jindosh made these alternate lenses for Ashworth's device. Now I can use them to sabotage it.
I told her that wasn't done. I have to learn to see the person scene just right. Otherwise the spell won't work, no matter how many goose feathers you gathered. The knee feels better. The fresh air really helped. And the calendula flowers. Yes, I'd keep it in my chambers. Brianna's style I prefer. Touched by something from deep down in the mud where there's no light. The endless womb and the cold, dead grave. Both the same.
But Brianna's effigies let her reach into the mind, into the heart. Wouldn't you be afraid she'd influence your dreams? Like she's going to do to the Sisters of the Abbey?
That's part of the thrill, sister. Feels damp, heavy. Could be a storm coming
in. Now to activate it and sever Ashworth's connection to the void.
Do now? I'm ruined. Feeling the things I could do. The touch of the void. Delilah. It was everything I had.
What would you and Father advise if you were both here? Sometimes I dream we're all together again.
As if you could ever hide your face from me, Emily. Little Black Sparrow, free from your cage at last.
It's done. Brianna Ashworth is no longer a witch.
You villain! You don't even know what you've done. A great bloom wilts and fades from the world.
Delilah. I will take apart everything you've built until I have what's mine.
Oh, Brianna. I don't believe we will speak again. The thought of seeing you reduced to such a pale, sad thing. It's too much to bear. I hate you for this, child.
I'm not only going to restore things to the way they were, I'm going to make them better. Ashworth's journal might tell me more about why Delilah can't be killed.
After Delilah fell to the assassin Dowd, her magic was lost, and the coven scattered. I made a new life in Karnaca. Then I heard her whispering from the void, leading me to the Duke, who heard those same whispers. Together we worked to bring Delilah back into the world, change
changing the Empire from the home of Aramis Stilton 3 years ago. Across the Isles, all of us who'd been with her at Brigmore and before, we felt the magic return. Others joined. New faces, new blood. Now, Delilah is immortal. Forever. She holds Dunwall, and we've turned to corrupting the oracular order. The Overseers take guidance from their prophetic sisters, and soon we'll influence their dreams and visions.
Someone there?
Questioned the stricter mining quotas and the new tax scheme levied by the Grand Circonian Guard. Let me answer all of this rabble-rousing at once. Disloyalty and sedition will not be tolerated. Look at Duncan Bales, my good friend. As a patriot, a man who won't stop until he has turned every bit of this land's silver into shiny coin.
Never earned those medals. Twice the soldier he is. You should say it.
Only something would happen around here. Just doesn't have to be a circus.
If I can just make it through this shift, then I can go and have a mug of something at the bar and be a little myself.
So it's done.
Ashworth won't be a problem anymore.
Good. But Emily, there's something else. Back when I lived in Dunwall, I did things that I'm not proud of.
Isn't that a requirement for citizenship?
What I've got to say is not a joke. I knew Delilah and Ashworth. Bought into their bullshit. Which led me down a bad road. To be honest, before all this, I thought Delilah dead. I don't want to get into it right now. But I felt like you should know. There are things I regret.
All right, Megan. Thank you for opening up. If only a little.
I'm starting to feel like you deserve it. Are you ready to leave now?
Yes. Let's go. Take me back to the Dreadful Whale.
Another step toward the Duke of Serkonos and Delilah.